Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got a video for you from Judge McBurney in Georgia. He has got a couple who used to be married, now they're divorced. They are both doctors. Dad is a radiologist, mom is an ER doc. They both make a fairly good living, but Dad paid over $140,000 for just 6 months of support. For just the little ones. She doesn't get any alimony. And so because he's paid so much in support, he's looking to reduce it just a little bit because he's got more overnights now. But she's complaining that she doesn't get it on the 1st of the month. He pays it on the 1st, but the processing of the payments doesn't happen quick enough for her. And I guess she wants him held in contempt for that. That's what it sounds like her attorney wants anyway. I will let you guys watch. I did this in 2 parts because it was so long. So I did Dad in part 1, Mom is part 2. With that, I will let you guys watch.
All right, you ready?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, let's get on the record. This is 26 CV 000804, Deal versus Deal. It is August 25th, around 9:30, and we have a trial today concerning a child support dispute, and we are going to work through that. Our petitioner is Dr. Adam Deal, represented by, do we say Hanrahan Freitag, both?
Perfect.
Okay, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag. And then we have as respondent, another Dr. Deal, Dr. Anna Deal, represented by Ms. McCormick. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Excellent. And my understanding is that we've got 3 kids in the mix. There was a divorce in 22 in Cobb County. Custody was modified in DeKalb, I think, in September of 24. You all have litigated the wait. It hasn't been 2 years yet. And Judge Ellerby said, based on the pleadings, there's a basis to move forward. And I think, Ms. McCormick, you acknowledged, if this got dismissed, it could just be brought back in now about a month. So why not just address the issues and see where we get? And my summary isn't necessarily accurate. It's meant to let you know what I think the issues are so that if I'm close, you can spend less time trying to orient me. But I'm going to say Mr. and Ms., even though you're both doctors, because if I say doctor, we're not going to know who we're talking about. Mr. Deal believes there should be a decrease in the amount of child support he pays because, 1, he is engaging in more parenting time, and a nanny that is part of the payments that are being made is fewer hours of his or her time is needed because of this shift in parenting time. And Ms. Deal disagrees with that and thinks that there ought not to be a reduction in the child support. That's sort of a high-level overview. Obviously, we need to get into the facts and circumstances and all that, but I think that's what we're working through today. Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, is there anything procedurally we need to work through before you give an opening, if you want to give an opening, or you call your first witness?
No, Your Honor. The one clarification to what you shared, your modification was out of Fulton.
Out of Fulton? Okay. I don't know why I have DeKalb here. All right. Ms. McCormick, same question. Anything procedurally we need to work through, or like Judge, actually, my client's not a doctor. She's an airline pilot.
No, Judge. I think the only point is that I had filed a notice of conflict, and that conflict's been resolved. It was for this case 1 under the conflict rules, but the other status conference was to take place at noon. So in case Your Honor was considering breaking around the time that I could report to that other case, it's already been resolved. It's been reset for October.
Great. Thank you for flagging that. We will have a lunch break if we're not done by then. It'll be a little later. I have a 1 o'clock Zoom. And so that I don't make your lunch break 2 hours, we'll just take it a little closer to 1. And while you guys are eating, I'll go deal with that meeting. So with that, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Called a witness to be here, and I haven't seen her report. May I check the hall very briefly?
Sure.
And then do opening.
Yep. Any update from your witness?
No, she's represented by counsel. I sent an email to him.
Okay.
She'll report shortly.
Okay, great.
May I begin with opening?
Yes, ma'am.
It's hard to stop asking permission.
Okay, you'll get used to it.
And a binder for you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Would you like a binder as well?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sure I'll get one later.
Your Honor, thank you for hearing us this morning. I have the pleasure of representing Mr. Kyle Deal. He uses his middle name Kyle.
Okay,
And we are here seeking a reduction in child support. Very simply, Mr. Deal is spending more time with the children than outlined in the party's 2024 modification. Exhibit 4, the child support addendum from 2024, page 4 into 5, lists Mr. Deal as spending 117 overnights with the kids. The kids are with, Mr. Deal spends about 173 overnights with the kids. It's a difference of about 15% and is sufficient to bring us before Your Honor. Beyond applying the parenting time deviation, we are asking for guideline child support. Mr. and Ms. Deal are both W-2 K-1 earning employees, and their income is rather straightforward. Ms. Deal pays a reasonable premium for the children's health insurance, and that's what we ask be included on the child support worksheet. As you noted, the parties have 3 children, Sylvia, age 8, Jamie, age 7, and Lily, age 5, and all are in school. My client works a traditional 7:30 to about 6 o'clock schedule, Monday through Friday, with limited call. Ms. Deal.
limited call, meaning he doesn't get a call on Saturday night saying, come look at this x-ray.
He's only on call about once a month.
Every fifth day.
Oh,
I could have to go into the hospital on those days. I rearrange them away from my parenting time.
okay. I'll have to see how that math works because every 5th day, it seems like eventually it would land on parenting time.
Week, and I can change it. It's called, we just call it Q5, but it's every 5th week. And the weekdays and the weekends are separate blocks. So I can move a weekend without moving a week.
Mhm.
And then same with the week.
But I'm confused. I heard you say every 5th day, and then I heard you say every 5th week. Which is it?
There are blocks of weekends and weekdays, and they are, I have to do 1 out of 5, but I can rearrange them.
Okay. I'm still trying to follow this. Are you called in once a month? To me, that would be every 5 weeks. Or are you called in once a week? That would be every 5 days.
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay. But the way you are able to engineer that, it rarely, if ever, collides with your parenting days.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Ms. Deal is an ER physician and works overnights, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with small variations. You went over the procedural history. Mr. Deal's current child support is $4,400 base child support a month. 50% of the rate of the nanny, which is $1,828. He pays the $1,828 whether the full expense of the nanny is incurred. There was a cost for daycare, but their youngest is now in school. He also pays 80% of medical, 50% of extracurriculars, up to $2,500 per child per year, and 50% of summer camp despite having a full-time nanny. There's a double there. Mr. Deal has paid $140,000 in child support in a 6-month period under the 2024 modified order. Of significance, Your Honor, and who we are hoping to have as a witness is the nanny, Melanie Goldie.
Who has a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Is there something I need to know about what's going on with the parents? Is someone suing her or?
There's absolutely no conduct claims and no one is suing Ms. Goldie.
Okay.
It's specifically about her hours worked and her compensation.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, she was deposed, so she had a lawyer simply to represent her during the deposition.
Okay.
And it's a colleague, both of mine and Ms. Hanrahan Freitag. We all used to work in the same law firm, actually.
Mr. Collard.
Small world. Okay.
Ms. Goldie has been employed by Ms. Deal since 2023. She's compensated at the exceptional rate of $850 per week every week for a monthly income of $3,698. What makes the rate particularly exceptional is Ms. Goldie works about 20 to 25 hours per week, which is an effective rate of $42 an hour. Ms. Goldie shared with us that her typical rate for services is $20 to $25 per hour for work outside of Ms. Deal's home. So a $42 an hour rate is very high. While Ms. Deal certainly has a need for work-related childcare, it's limited by the parenting plan schedule. The cost should be nowhere near $850 per week. You will hear that Ms. Goldie's rate is so that she can be available. That is her weekly rate. It's $850 whether you use 10 hours or 40 hours. We don't believe that to be true. Ms. Goldie has outside work.
Which part do you believe to be untrue? That she gets paid $850 a week, or that she is effectively on call?
That she is effectively on call. The records will show she is consistently paid $850 per week.
Okay. What kind of evidence are you forecasting would be proof that she's not on call, that she wouldn't drop another situation to assist Ms. Deal if the need arose?
Her own testimony that she does conduct the other work. She will say that she prioritizes Ms. Deal. It's also Ms. Deal's testimony that she uses Ms. Goldie about 20 to 25 hours per week.
Okay.
A little about the parenting plan schedule. Mr. Deal has the children every other weekend, Friday and Saturday, and each and every week, Sunday and Monday, overnight to accommodate mom's work. That means Tuesday overnights are when mom needs childcare. I'd be remiss if I didn't say Mr. Deal would love to have the kids with him, but absent that, childcare coverage would just be for that Tuesday.
So every other Friday, Saturday, every Sunday, Monday.
Correct.
Okay. But not Tuesday.
But not Tuesday.
All right.
At a 12-hour overnight at $20 per hour, a more reasonable cost for childcare would be $260 per week. Additionally, Mr. Deal incurs his own nanny expense at $1,500 per month to transport the children before and after school. We are asking that Ms. Deal, of course, be able to choose the childcare she's most comfortable with, but the work-related childcare, the reasonable work-related childcare expense be reduced significantly to correlate to her actual work-related childcare at a reasonable rate. We ask that work-related childcare be handled outside of the worksheet as it fluctuates, so that there isn't an amount that's inserted and then a different amount of time that the nanny is used.
Why would you say that work-related childcare fluctuates if it would just be Tuesday night?
It wouldn't. Then it would be an inclusion in the child support worksheet. If there's an amount above that for additional time, right now the nanny is used occasionally for time that isn't related to work. We would
Okay.
not want to compensate for that.
But what's in the worksheet right now is the full $850 a week time, whatever the monthly version of that would be?
Correct. Your Honor.
Okay.
With the inclusions and Mr. Deal is comfortable continuing paying 50% of extracurriculars at $2,500 per year per child, continuing to share health insurance expenses outside of the premium at 80/20. And we would ask that child support reduce to $21.13 plus a reasonable amount for work-related childcare. If it gets included in the worksheet, it'll obviously increase that amount.
And the 2113 is what the worksheet would spit out if it reflected the 170-ish days rather than the 117.
Correct, although the 117 wasn't considered in the 2024 order. The child support addendum states how many overnights there are, but no parenting time deviation was included.
Okay. I guess it wasn't mandated back then anyway.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. McCormick, do you want to say something now or wait till petitioner rests?
I'd prefer to do it now, Your Honor, if that's okay with the court.
It's 100% up to you.
Thank you, Judge. Typically, I do it this way. I think most of us do. Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for joining us on the family law bench. I'm going to try to be limited in the opening because a lot of our contentions were already set forth in the pretrial order. We do that for a purpose. Judge Eaton has told me to not do long openings if I give him a consolidated pretrial order. The evidence will show, and I think what will be atypical for Your Honor is that there are a lot of areas of factual consensus in this particular case. For example, you will see that the parties' respective incomes are not in dispute on both versions of the child support worksheets. We are operating with the same income level. Those are the incomes reflected on the parties' respective financial affidavits. So there is not going to be a factual dispute there. Both of those versions of the child support worksheets demonstrate that the parties' incomes have both increased since the time of the 2024 modification. And as I know the court understands, in order to modify Mr. Deal's child support, this court has to find that there's been a change in either party's income or financial circumstances or a change in the needs of the children. And we will respectfully submit as part of our argument in this case that neither one of those standards have been met and that the incomes have increased since the time of the 2024 modification order and that the child care costs for Ms. Goldie were both known and understood to exist and remain at the same level as as was the case in 2024.
The change in income that he demonstrated would be a material decrease?
It could, Your Honor, be my client's increase in income that could trigger it. So if her income...
Okay, if the recipient's income went up or the payors went down, that would be a basis to reevaluate the equity and reasonableness of what had been ordered.
Correct, Your Honor. And we do not dispute that my client's income has gone up. I think both parties' income has gone up approximately $3,000 a month each, but that given the disparity between Mr. Deal's income and Ms. Deal's income, that doesn't make a meaningful difference.
Okay.
You will also see that both sides have included 173 days as the number of parenting time days for Mr. Deal in Schedule C. And you will see that both sides have included the same amount that my client pays for healthcare and vision coverage for the kids in Schedule D.
Why wouldn't this shift to 173 days from 117? Why wouldn't that be a reason to modify? In other words, run the spreadsheet again and see what number comes out.
Simply put, Your Honor, because his parenting time has not changed. He knew what the parenting time order said in 2024, and he agreed to this amount of child support in light of that parenting time schedule. It gets into a bit of a statutory construction issue, Your Honor, because he is saying that he should be able to get his foot in the door in contravention of the 2-year bar because he exercised more time than was set forth in the order. Nothing in the statute says which order you're supposed to look at to figure out what that means. We would respectfully submit that as a matter of common sense, it's the parenting time order. You have to look and see how much time were you exercising or agreeing to exercise in 2024, and are you in fact exercising more time than was under that schedule? And we believe the evidence will show that Mr. Deal is exercising exactly what he agreed to, and at the time in 2024, knowing how many overnights he was going to have with the parenting time adjustment then in effect, although not yet mandatory, he agreed to this child support amount.
I want to make sure I follow you in two ways. One, does the parenting plan from 24 say 170 days or 117?
It is silent, Your Honor.
It's silent. Okay. So he didn't agree to a particular number of days. He agreed to.
He agreed to the schedule that he knew he was going to have, Your Honor, and I think it's worth teasing.
And was that I'm sorry to
Sure.
override, but is it what I heard about, which is the every other weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then every Sunday and Monday?
Correct, Your Honor.
That's in the parenting plan.
That's in the parenting plan.
Does that add up to 173?
I think it adds up more to like 177 we've brought, but
But
yes.
it's in that direction.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where does
Yeah.
the 117 come from?
It was in the child support addendum. We respectfully believe that it was a scrivener's error.
Okay. But it's in the addendum. The parenting plan doesn't give one a number, but one can calculate that number by figuring out how many Friday, Saturdays are there in the year, and then, or I guess every other, and then how many Sunday, Mondays are there in a year? And you're saying that gets you into the 170s, whether it's 171 or 177. It's in the realm of what, in fact, Mr. Deal is doing now,
Correct.
which is what he agreed to.
Back then.
Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
understood.
Just as a matter of procedure, Judge, just quickly, you're correct in remembering that there was a DeKalb modification filed in 2024, but it was consolidated. What happened back then, I assume this is based on venue law. Mrs. Deal had initiated an action in DeKalb County. Mr. Deal initiated one in Fulton, and they were consolidated.
Okay.
And so the last order was, in fact, a Fulton County order that was entered in September of 2024.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, as you've already heard, there's two main disagreements here. The first is whether or not Mr. Deal is exercising different parenting time, or that somehow the difference between the 117 in the child support addendum and the actual 170-something nights that he agreed to exercise in 2024 and that he has exercised, whether or not that can be a change of circumstances that this court can take into consideration. We respectfully submit that it should not be. And then the second issue is whether or not my client's nanny childcare figure should be included in the calculation of child support. And again, our contention is that the answer to that question should also be yes. We will show, Your Honor, that Mr. Deal, with the benefit of counsel, agreed to the number of meaning he agreed to the parenting plan as well as the child support amount back in 2024. Whether or not my client's longstanding nanny cost should continue, the evidence will show that that cost was specifically referenced in the 2024 child support addendum. And the evidence will show that there was a specific acknowledgement by both sides that Ms. Melanie Goldie, that's the name of the nanny, would continue to be employed by my client. Also implicit, Your Honor, in Mr. Deal agreeing to the 2024 child support addendum was his acknowledgement that what he was agreeing to serves his children's best interests. Because what the court has to do, and I know Your Honor knows this, in considering a child support amount, one of the prime factors to be taken into consideration is the children's best interest. That's effectively the guiding principle of most family law in Georgia. So consequently, we are going to be asking that my client's nanny cost should be included in the child support worksheet. To the extent that Mr. Deal wishes to have his $1,500 a month that he pays for a nanny in his household in the child support worksheet, we have no problem with that, Your Honor. We are going to be submitting two different versions of child support worksheets to the court, one in which my client's nanny costs are included, and that's the only thing, plus the health insurance, the dental insurance, and the incomes. And then we have another version where we include the $1,500 a month for Mr. Deal in the child support worksheet. Both of them to reach the amount, I think that Your Honor has already understood this, but what Mr. Deal is supposed to be paying my client, I believe it's on the first of each month, is $6,228. That's $4,440 plus $1,828 for the nanny costs. We respectfully submit that that amount should stay in place, and as a result, the child support worksheets, both of our versions that we're submitting to the court, have an upward income deviation to reach the $6,228 number. We, as a point of clarification, Your Honor, whether or not the court deems fit to change any aspect of the child support arrangement, We would be asking as a clarification that Mr. Deal be required to pay my client any direct child support amount by ACH recurring transfer. We have not filed a contempt about his failure to pay child support on time because he is, as we stand before the court today, current in all of his obligations. But my client, if the court's willing to entertain a brief bit of testimony about that, my client will tell the court that he has a history of not paying on time and that he is not, when his direct child support amount was supposed to include the cost of the nanny, he would elect not to do that and would just pay her the $4,440 a month, and then they would make separate arrangements for the payment of the nanny costs. So as to streamline this between the parties, we would prefer that. And
It's not a concern that he was paying in Bitcoin or through Zelle. It's that he was breaking the two pieces apart, and maybe there, according to your client, there was a delay in paying the nanny piece of the total 6,000.
there actually, I don't believe was a delay in paying the nanny piece. There was a delay in paying the primary child support amount.
Oh, okay. But this request for the ACH recurring transfer wasn't so much the channel through which he's moving the money is problematic. It was the timing of the money flowing through a channel.
Correct, Judge. I mean, just if it was an automatic recurring payment,
Right.
yes, that's our preference. It's more about the automatic aspect of it than anything else.
Okay. All right.
And then lastly, Your Honor, just briefly, we are asking that my client be awarded the entirety of her attorney's fees pursuant to 19-615K5. And in the alternative, we've also asked for an award of fees pursuant to 9-15-14. I think a smaller allocation of fees is related to that based upon Mr. Deal improperly seeking to put his foot in the door prior to the 2-year bar.
On that topic, not about fees, but one of the arguments you made is that really we shouldn't be discussing this right now because Mr. Deal agreed to this number of days, nights through the parenting plan, and maybe there's not even the jurisdictional threshold of was there a meaningful change in income? Both parties have gone up, but your client's hasn't gone up so much more that there is a different ratio, if you will, and there's not a change in the kid's needs. But a ruling on that ground saying there's nothing to see here, doesn't that just do what I thought you wanted to avoid, which is kick the can to 1 month from now and then it would have been 2 years? Or there's still, those hurdles have to be cleared. You could be 5 years, and if there hasn't been a meaningful change in income or a change in the children's needs, you're knocking on a door that's not opening.
Well, Your Honor, I think both apply, but if I may, the reason we're asking you to adjudicate on the merits today is that if the court undertakes that task, then a new 2-year bar starts to be in place. And so it's for that reason that we're asking for an adjudication on the merits. The doorway always requires the change of circumstances in the income or financial circumstances or the needs of the children. But I believe that the public policy in Georgia to prevent the type of litigiousness that I respectfully submit has been demonstrated in this case is to make sure that you have a 2-year bar unless there's an involuntary loss of income or exercising of significantly more parenting time than was anticipated.
Got it. And it's that second one that Mr. Deal is relying, that second prong.
Correct.
And you're pushing back and saying, what's the surprise here? It's in the parenting plan.
Correct.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Seek to call Melanie Gold.
Okay. You think she's arrived? You could yell loudly and see if she hears you.
I do.
You have to see when yourself. There was an edge shirt in your front.
Yeah.
You were for the record, state your full name, spell the first and last.
Melanie Goldie, MELANIE GOLDEY.
Ms. Goldie, I'm gonna need you with that chair that doesn't have wheels to scooch forward because you're soft-spoken, at least you're using your indoor voice. I need you to be closer to the microphone. That way the court reporter and the person furthest from you, which is probably Ms. Deal, can hear you, okay?
Is that better?
It's a little better. All right.
Can I approach you with a binder of exhibits? They're not all for you.
Okay.
Can you identify what's been marked as Exhibit 8?
It would appear to be my employment contract.
Your original or your subsequent?
My original.
Is it your signature that appears on the last page?
Yes.
Move to admit plaintiff's 8.
Any objection to plaintiff's 8?
No, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
If you flip to number 9, the very next example. Can you identify this document?
It appears to be my amended employment contract.
All right. And is it your signature, your electronic signature on the second page?
Yes.
What is the date of the contract? It's on the first page near the top.
8/8/25.
Move to admit plaintiff's 9.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, 9 is admitted as well.
If you will skip to exhibit 12. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah, it's a section of my bank statement showing my pay.
Move to admit plaintiff's 12.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now I'm going to ask you some questions about those. Oh, and exhibit 10 is quite bulky. Sorry to go out of order. Can you identify this document?
It looks like a printout of my Google Calendar that I share for my work schedule with Anna Kate.
And you call Ms. Deal Anna Kate?
Yes.
Is this an accurate reflection of the shifts you work?
Probably not 100%, but probably pretty accurate.
And do you indicate on here when you will not be available?
I try to.
Simply because it's a little more comfortable here, may I continue to question from here?
That's fine with me. You are audible. As the key, you can be in the back of the courtroom as long as we can hear you. That works.
If you will look at tab 8.
Did you want to tender exhibit 10?
I did. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any objection to plaintiff's 10?
No, Your Honor.
Petitioner's 10? It's admitted.
Looking at petitioner's 8. How many hours did it anticipate you working?
I don't even see a total of hours. We always talked in shifts.
It says work hours 36 shifts. Could that mean 36 hours?
No,
Oh, it's 36 shifts per quarter.
correct.
How long is a shift?
It depends. It started out as overnight.
It says primary hours will be 7 p.m. until completion of drop-off, handoff of children the following morning. When would that typically be?
Around 8 a.m.
Okay, so that sounds like 11-hour shift.
And what do you indicate? And you're paid $8.50 a week for 36 hours.
36 shifts per
13
quarter.
hours.
Yeah.
1326.
Well, each shift is about 11 hours, so the number of hours a week is going to be some multiple of 11. How many shifts if a shift is, I know it wasn't always this way, but from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m., I say 11 hours, that's 13 hours. 13 hours, how many shifts did you work in a typical week?
3 or 4. It would change depending on Anna Kate's work schedule.
Okay.
Ms. Gold, you might be able to move the microphone towards you a little bit.
It actually, you have to lean into it. It moves up and down. It doesn't move forward and back.
Scooch a little bit. The chair doesn't cooperate very well.
Doing a little bit of math.
Yeah.
13-hour shift times 3 times a week is about 39 hours a week. And your rate is $8.50. That comes out to about $22 an hour, correct?
Sure.
And you indicated your overtime pay rate was $25 per hour.
Yes.
What triggers overtime?
A date night, a special occurrence, maybe a doctor's appointment, something that she might need extra.
So outside the shifts?
Correct.
In other words, if drop-off ended up being at 8:30 instead of 8 a.m., that's not overtime.
No, and we never tracked it that closely.
Okay, it would be, hey, it's a Wednesday night. Could you come be with the kids? That's an overtime.
Absolutely.
That's not part of the 850. That would be the $25 an hour for however long the date. It's going to shorten my date. Okay.
And you worked this shift until Mr. and Ms. Deal, we're calling them Mr. and Ms. Deal to distinguish them, modified their schedule in 2024.
Correct.
All right. And how did your hours change in 2024?
Then it went to picking up the kids from school, from Mr. Deal's house and dropping them off. And it's hard to, it's shifted again since then. So it became more covering during the day, especially during the summer, so that Anna Kate could sleep from work, covering from when the kids would wake up in the morning till she had adequate sleep time, or if she had an appointment, coming home from there. It's always shifted quite a bit, so it's hard to say exactly what a normal schedule would be. Past that first year, we went pretty hard off the schedule.
So this 13-hour shifts 3 or 4 times a week, that's yesteryear. You don't do that anymore.
Not at all.
Okay. What would you say the routine is now, insofar as there's a routine?
So I pick the kids up and drop them off at school every day, Monday through Thursday. And I stay overnight on Tuesdays. So I pick them up from Mr. Deal's house on Monday and Tuesday mornings, and I drop them off. And then I pick them up from school as well in the afternoons and get them home. And then I stay overnight on Tuesdays.
If we're going to have to break that down in a minute, but you mentioned like doing something on a Thursday. My understanding, informally, is that Ms. Deal isn't doing an overnight that would impact a Thursday.
No, this is so that she can maintain her sleep schedule, because her sleep schedule is overnight. So we shifted it a little bit since
Got it.
she was staying up till 6 a.m. most days, and then having to turn around and do a 180 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Got it.
So we shifted it so that she could sleep in a little bit, and I would take over drop-offs and pickups entirely.
Okay. Now I see why you would be there on those days. So it's work related in the sense that it allows Ms. Deal to not have, I'm awake overnight some days a week, and then I'm awake in the middle of the day on other days a week.
Correct.
And be constantly a zombie.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could repeat for me, you pick the kids up from Mr. Deal.
Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, I pick them up from Miss Deal's house, Ms. Deal's,
And take them,
to school.
to school, not to your place.
No.
They're all in some form of school now.
Yes, they go to the same school.
Okay. What school is that?
Herds Ferry Elementary.
Okay. And how many hours, if we add up all the time? I guess when they're in school, you're not working for Ms. Deal, but how many hours does this pick up and what you're
It's
describing?
hard to tell. So I pick them up from Mr. Deal's house Monday and Tuesday mornings at 6:45, and I'm usually home by 8:30.
Home to your place?
Correct.
So maybe 2 hours-ish of work on Monday and Tuesday.
And then I'm in Carline by in between 1:30 and 2 p.m. And then that gets a little dodgy because sometimes I stay for a few hours and sometimes I drop them off and run, depending on what I have going on that afternoon. So
Okay.
it could be anywhere from another 3 hours of work to 6 hours of work.
Okay.
And then I stay overnight on Tuesdays still.
You don't need to keep track of your hours because it's a flat rate.
Correct. And we've both talked about we prefer it that way.
Okay.
It's just easier.
All right. Well, then I'm going to need to parse it out then. So
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday, 6:45 to what I'm going to call 8:30 is about 2 hours in the morning.
Correct.
And then on Monday and Tuesday, you pick them up from school.
Monday through Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. Because Mr. Deal picks them up on Friday from school.
Miss Deal does.
She picks them up on Friday. Why not Thursday?
Same thing, just so she can maintain a regular schedule.
So why Friday?
Mostly for me.
Okay.
I host karaoke on Fridays, so it's a little easier between the jobs that I work. I also pick another set of children up in the afternoon. They're older, so they get off a little later.
So Monday, Tuesday are the only days where you've got the early morning piece.
No, Monday through Thursday, it's just Monday and Tuesday, I pick them up from Mr. Deal's house. Wednesday and Thursday, I pick them up from Miss Deal's house. And then I also get them ready for school on Wednesday and Thursday morning.
Got
So I'm
it.
there a little earlier. I get them up, get them dressed, breakfast, and then out the door. I don't just pick them up.
So Wednesday, Thursday, what's the morning hours?
I show up at 6 a.m. and I get the kids up.
And then it's
Ready.
still to about 8:30-ish, depending on, okay. 2.5 hours. And then the afternoons, Monday through Thursday, this is the 1:30. When do you hit the carpool line?
Yeah, about 1:30, in between 1:30 and 2.
That's Monday through Thursday. So 1:30. And then this is where the big variable is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be around only until,
Sometimes I drop them off and run. So I
Okay.
would drop them off probably around 3, in between 3 and 3:30, depending on traffic,
okay. And other times you might stay as late as,
till after dinner, 6, 7. And then
okay.
if I have my overnight, sometimes I'll just stay
Okay. And your overnight is which night?
Tuesday.
And why that night as opposed to any other night?
Anna Kate has work.
Oh, right. Okay. So you would pick them up at 1:30 on a Tuesday, and then you'd be there really till 8:30, not necessarily at home, but with the kids until kind of 8:30-ish Wednesday morning when you drop them off at school.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Sorry to hijack that. I just am going to want to get some hours. And just so you know where my thoughts are, the original arrangement where it was, let's call it 40 hours a week, and you did some math and said it was about $22 an hour. That didn't seem like a bad rate. Bad is the wrong word. That didn't seem like a exceedingly high rate. And so I'm going to be thinking about how one converts the hours that Ms. Goldie just described she's doing now, because that's what we're focused on, not last year, but now, and what that hourly rate is. Because $8.50 a week for 1 hour, that's a real high hourly rate. But $8.50 a week for 85 hours, that's a really low rate. We're somewhere in between 1 and 85.
When did you start doing Wednesday and Thursday mornings with the kids at Ms. Deeds?
When school started this year.
So about 3 weeks ago.
Yes. But before that, I see the schedule has changed so much. Before that, I was with them in the mornings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings from about 7 or 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon.
Because that was the summer schedule.
Correct.
And Ms. Deal was needing to sleep. And so you were there, but if they're at school, she can sleep and you don't need to be there.
Correct.
Got it. Did you fulfill an additional role of you're cleaning the house or you're walking dogs or you and the kids? That's your situation.
I do little things around the house, dishes. Yeah, absolutely help the dogs.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Just, part of the family, trying to help out.
Okay.
Staying focused on now, but the last school year, you didn't do Wednesday and Thursday mornings with the kids.
No.
That's new for this school year.
Yes.
When I deposed you, school hadn't started yet. You hadn't started those hours.
Right.
Last school year, Ms. Deal did mornings with the kids on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes.
Looking at Exhibit 9. Where does it indicate you'll be doing Wednesday and Thursday?
I don't think this one does it? We hadn't had a new amended contract for these hours. It's something we discussed. We actually just ended a trial period. We talked about doing a trial period and then making this more permanent if it worked out, which it has.
The trial period, meaning the scenario you and I just worked through with the Monday through Thursdays in the afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday in the morning, which is different from petitioner's 9. That's what you were sort of doing the test kitchen on to see how it worked.
Yeah.
And
it's working good.
Okay.
I think so. I think Anna Kate's already told me she's a lot happier being able to actually get some sleep.
okay.
Looking at page 2 of Exhibit 9, it doesn't indicate that you'll work Thursday and Friday mornings, correct? For a summer schedule?
No. But again,
You're looking at the wrong exhibit.
Yeah. Exhibit 9?
9, that's 8.
Thank you.
Second page.
The summer schedule.
No, it doesn't. But again, I feel like the schedule on the contract has never been strict.
The children attend summer camps during the summer,
Yes.
and your rate doesn't change during the summer.
No, we've always been happy to keep it flexible.
The summer camps, are they sleepaway summer camps?
No.
So some of this same dynamic that we just worked through where you show up in the morning to get them dressed and ready and fed, and then you're taking them to summer camp. It would happen in the summer, just like it happens during the school year.
Correct. And sometimes I would hang out with them at swim meet. I would be there the entire time as well.
Okay. Because everything was local and I'm gonna call it day-based, was the routine all that different from you've just described how you are supporting Ms. Deal for this few weeks of the school year so far?
No, I would say, if anything, I worked more hours then because I was with them more.
Tell me about the work you do outside of Ms. Deal.
I have another family that I work for. They're just older children, and I'm basically a glorified chauffeur, and I pick them up and get them home or to extracurricular activities in the afternoons. That schedule is very, very, very flexible and varied. And then I'm also a karaoke DJ.
Where do you do that?
On Thursdays at Johnny's Pizza Midtown and Fridays at Outrun Brewery in Stone Mountain. And then sometimes other places. I work for a larger umbrella of karaoke hosts, so I fill in it as necessary if I have free time.
The other family you work for, that can be Monday through Thursday or Monday through Wednesday?
Monday through Friday.
What if it conflicts with the schedule for the Deal kids?
We work it out. It rarely does. Because their pickups tend to be later in the evening. They're older children and they have volleyball and band and theater.
What is the rate you charge for that?
It's also a flat rate. Their father pays me $25 an hour, but he pays me regardless of whether I work that shift or not. So he pays me a salary essentially. On top of that, I get a gas stipend and reimbursements for snacks for the kids if we stop at Starbucks or whatever.
What is your stipend?
$45 a week.
And what is your salary?
500.
Do you know how many hours on average you work for the other family?
It's hard. I can work. It really, there's no average there because some weeks I'm picking up one girl one day. Some days I'm picking up one girl, driving her home, going back to school, picking up the other girl, driving her home, and doing that 3 days a week. So it's on average from 3 to 40 hours a week.
How are you doing that if you are picking the Deal kids up at 1:30 and that could extend all the way through dinner if you're making dinner? Do those other kids just have to wait till you're done?
So that's where this Google Calendar comes in and we just work it out. So the earliest the other girls get out is 3:40. Those are the days that I would drop the kids off and run.
Got
literally
it.
run.
That would not be a let's stay for dinner day at the Deal household.
Right.
Okay.
And then sometimes they don't get out until 5, 7 o'clock at night.
So you know their schedule, which lets you know, I have flexibility to stay longer to support Ms. Deal's household and be with the kids.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you ever work Thursday nights for Ms. Deal?
I have, I'm sure at some point, yes.
Is it rare?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Fridays are rare.
Yes. Evenings, yes.
Just to clarify, on Mondays, you drop the children back at Kyle's, at Mr. Deal's?
No, I bring them home. I bring them to Miss Deal's house
And when do they transition to Mr. Deal's?
at 6 p.m.
Do you provide that transition?
No.
Have you been asked?
Yes, initially, when we first did the addendum. I think that was kind of on the table of discussions of how the schedule was going to change.
On Tuesdays, you get the children from school and you may stay overnight into Wednesday.
Often, yes.
Okay, and then you're with them Wednesday and Thursday morning to get to school.
Yes,
And then with them again in the afternoon, dropping them at home either right at 3 or continuing till 6,
yes,
dependent on the schedule of your other families and your other work.
correct.
So I guess Tuesday nights, you can't ever pick up the other kids because you are doing an overnight at Ms. Deal's.
Sometimes I still can. Again, this is newer, this whole thing. But the way we've kind of worked it out is that we just communicate. And on those days, so if I need to go grab those other girls, I can drop them off and then I just need to be back by 7 p.m.
Got it. So Ms. Deal would be with her kids, then you'd return.
Correct.
Okay.
Nothing further.
Ms. McCormick, do you have any questions for Ms. Goldie?
Do you, please, and thank you. Ms. Goldie, how long have you been paid the flat rate of $850 a week by Ms. Deal and Mr. Deal through the child support arrangement?
Since I took over full time before,
Which was when?
when we started the contract, the original contract,
And could you remind the court when that was?
October 23.
Okay, so fair to say that you've had that rate in effect for almost 3 years now?
Yes.
Okay, and could you tell His Honor what went into calculating your flat rate of $850 a week in your mind?
Sure. A combination of me needing a steady paycheck, keeping everything as easy as possible, flexible on both sides, and with regards to my extensive childcare experience and early childhood education experience, educational arts experience, and budgeting, just really keeping it easy, I think, on both sides.
And do you have some familiarity with the market that exists for childcare providers like you?
Absolutely.
And do you consider the $850 a week flat rate to be consistent with the market?
Yes.
Why?
Good help is hard to find. Someone with my experience, especially, and someone who spends as much time with the kids as I do. It's not just, I'm not a glorified chauffeur at the Deal House. I mean, I am involved in their lives.
You're contrasting your role in the Deal household with the, I'm going to say mystery family. You know, the name doesn't matter, but that other family.
Yes.
You use that term glorified chauffeur. You're embracing it for those young ladies. You love them, but you just drive them places.
Correct.
Get out of the car. Got to go.
They still call me their nanny, but I joke with them that I'm just their chauffeur.
Okay.
And I believe you stated that your flat rate for that family is $500 a week versus the $850 a week?
Correct.
Okay. And in your mind, when you were first coming up with the $850 a week flat rate 3 years ago, was there a certain number of hours baked into that number?
No, it was a yearly salary.
Okay. And has either party in this courtroom ever asked you to renegotiate that rate?
Not personally.
When you say not personally, like they've called your agent or?
No, well, I mean, just me being here in court.
Okay.
And in what way, and this is again, just asking you as a layperson, Ms. Goldie, it's fair to say that there are times that you're working and providing childcare for the Deal family that my client is not working at the ER. Is that right?
Yes.
But do you nevertheless think that some of your work done for this family when Ms. Deal is not at the ER supports her work at the ER?
Absolutely.
How so?
So that she can maintain a regular sleep schedule and also have a human life, go to doctor's appointments, do things. She also coordinates things with the kids where maybe she needs to take one child and I can be there and support because her schedule is bonkers.
Have you ever seen her catch up on charting while you're providing childcare for the children?
Absolutely. Sometimes she's there at the house just trying to work in the office while I take them out just so that she can focus on work.
And I believe you testified at your deposition about attending birthday parties and dance recitals for the Deal children. Are you on the clock when you're attending those events or off the clock?
No. I'm there because they want me to be there and I want to be there.
Can you describe your relationship with the Deal children as it's evolved over this 3-year period to his honor?
I mean, I love these kids. I feel like part of the family for sure. They love me. They tell me they love me on a daily basis. They tell me they want me at their birthday parties. We talk about their dreams, their day-to-day schedules. I know their friends' names. I know their friends' parents' names. I definitely feel like part of the family, and that's nice. It's nice to have a working relationship that also feels like a family relationship.
And how old was Lily, the youngest, when you first started working for the Deal family?
Oh, she was
How old is she now?
5.
And let me ask you one other question. This past summer, were the children enrolled in any summer camps?
Yeah,
Okay.
some stuff here and there, but I spent a lot of time with them this summer for sure.
Okay. Compared to previous summers, did you spend more time with them this past summer?
I think so.
That's all I have at the moment, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
No.
Okay. Ms. Goldie, thank you for your time.
Okay.
You are,
supposed to go?
does she need to stick around?
No, she does not. You're free to go.
All right. Love the nail polish. You are free to go. All right, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, next witness.
Call Dr. Kyle Deal.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To raise your hand. You start from this one that what you said. Yes, sir. I can be with position and share what you need. But it's almost like. What state your full name, your last name?
Adam Kyle Deal, ADAMKYLEDEAL.
If you will look at what's marked as 1 in the binder. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
What is it?
the domestic relations financial affidavit.
And is it true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Move to admit plaintiff's one.
No objection, Your Honor.
1 is admitted.
Looking at page 1, what is your gross monthly income?
$114,721.
Is that more or less than your monthly income in 2024?
It's actually slightly less, but it's pretty darn close. Oh, 2024?
Mhm.
I think that it's pretty close.
If you will look at tab 4 and flip to the child support addendum. It's a couple pages in.
I'm sorry, tab 4 now exhibit.
Exhibit 4. It's behind tab 4. I'll be better about calling it exhibit.
No worries, thank you.
Binder item 4?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And if you go a few pages in, there's the child support addendum. There, They're not numbered sequentially, but it's in there. You'll find it.
Yes, sir, I found it.
Okay.
Page 1, what was your gross income in paragraph 1?
111,181.
So you've had a slight increase in income.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's monthly income.
Correct.
Okay.
What are you asking the court to do today?
To recalculate the child support worksheet and to remove the non-work related childcare from the child support worksheet.
Do you have an opinion on what work-related childcare is necessary for Ms. Deal to perform her work?
Before we get to that, fair question. You're going to answer it. You're asking for two things. The second one, your lawyer was just about to ask you about. But the first one was you want child support recalculated, and that's because of the parenting time, or is there, I want to make sure I've got all the dimensions here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, to reflect the 170-ish rather than the 117.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then tell me about what you consider a reasonable work-related childcare.
When you're working, is work-related childcare or, with a buffer. That's, if I have to use childcare, then that's how I do it. An example is, Melanie on Monday and Tuesday morning.
Melanie,
Goldie.
name is Goldie. Okay, you're good. Melanie's fine. I just want to make sure because I know you have a nanny as well, so I wasn't sure which one we're talking about.
And her name is Rose.
Okay, that's different.
Sometimes I'll have to leave before 7 a.m. So rather than trying to get the children to school really early, I think it's work related to get them to have her come at 6:45 and bring them to school. I've already left for work, or I'm about to leave for work right when they go out the door. So that, to me, that's work related. And that's it.
Let's talk a little about how you use your nanny, Rose. What is her rate?
Her rate is, I pay her $125 a day. So generally she works 3 hours. And I think that's like $40 an hour. I think that's like $41 an hour.
When do you use her?
On Sunday, Monday, and Friday afternoon.
Say that again. Sunday.
Afternoon, Monday afternoon, and Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Only for pickups, and it's to basically ensure that I'm 100% consistent about the timing of pickup from their mom.
Those 3 pickups, Sunday, Monday, and Friday, are from Ms. Deal, not from school.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Got it. And it's if you're not available, or even if you are, it's Rose who does the pickup.
It's not, if I'm available, I do the pickup.
Okay.
If I'm not, then it's Rose that does the pickup.
It's security for you. If you're stuck doing work, Rose is there to make it happen, as you said, consistently on time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is Ms. Deal married
Yes,
and her spouse resides in the home?
yes,
You are engaged
yes,
and your fiance resides in the home.
she does.
Her name is Spencer Hewitt.
Yes, ma'am.
Does she provide childcare?
I don't know. If she does not, I think in the 4-ish years that I've known Spencer, I think she's been alone with my kids, maybe like an hour or two without me there. So I would say in terms of being like a childcare provider when I'm not there, no, she doesn't.
Can you spell her last name?
Hewett. But in terms of having a relationship with the kids, definitely, they see her every single day.
Does she work?
Yes, sir.
What does she do?
She's a medical device salesperson, sales rep.
Looking at number Exhibit 5. Is this your proposed child support worksheet?
Just a moment. Yes,
You're asking the court to reduce your base child support to $2,113.
yes,
In addition to that, you would provide extracurriculars of $2,500 per month per child, $2,500 per year per child,
yes,
which is what is stated in the 2024 order.
that's right.
And what is your proposal for summer camp?
That we pay our own summer camp. Or if we can't do that, then we would split it. But I don't use summer camp when the children are with me during the summer. I get 3 weeks and we almost always go on a trip all 3 of the weeks. So it's irrelevant. The summer camp is not something that I typically use. But if I was to use it, I would pay for it myself. Sorry if I droned on there.
No, what I understand you saying is each parent should pay for his or her own summer camp. The weeks you have with the kids, you don't use summer camp. So there's nothing that Ms. Deal would need to contribute to. You manage that and you're taking the same view of the weeks that she has the kids. She could go on a trip with them, and if she chooses to work, she ought to pay for summer camp.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, you still be paying child support. It's just, it's not in addition, you're paying for summer camp. And so I'm clear that extracurriculars, it's $2,500 per kid per year, not monthly.
Or
Okay.
not monthly, annually?
And how does does that somehow get paid? Is that in this worksheet? There's whatever that math would be, 2,500 divided by 12 times 3 is in here, or that's a separate stream?
It's a separate stream.
Okay.
And my next questions are related back to something Ms. McCormick shared. How do you pay what channel do you use to pay child support?
Currently through our Family Wizard.
Have you found limitations with our Family Wizard?
They have unpredictable, I can issue the payment, but it's unpredictable when it clears through their system and goes to Anna. And so,
Meaning you might pay, I'm making it up, but you might pay it on the 4th every month. And sometimes it gets to Ms. Deal on the 5th, sometimes on the 9th, but you're pressing whatever buttons you need to press at the same time each month, and you're getting different outcomes.
yes, sir.
Were you required, I know I keep stepping on you.
It's okay.
Were you required to pay child support that way? Or that's just what you and Ms. Deal agreed to?
I don't think I was absolutely required to, but I was required to put all communications through our Family Wizard. So, and Anna is required to put the billable items in our Family Wizard. So I thought it was most consistent to try to do it.
Sure. I just was curious because if you were mandated, then if I'm going to change it, I just have to enter an order saying, no, pay it this way rather than that way. But it just may have been a matter of convenience, but it's not functioning real well.
Did you find that there were caps with our Family Wizard?
$5,000.
And your monthly obligation exceeded that?
Right,
So you had to break it into 2 payments?
right.
And again, our Family Wizard wasn't always consistent transmitting that payment to Ms. D.
That's right.
Though you were consistent in payment.
Yes.
How do you have a preference as to what channel you use going forward to pay support?
Our Family Wizard,
Why?
because it's an immutable ledger. If it gets approved through our Family Wizard, then it's in one consistent document. And in the past, things that I have paid, Anna has said in the past that I didn't pay things that I had in fact paid, and I had to show proof of it. Our family wizard takes care of all of that.
Does our family wizard document when you initiate the payment?
Yes, sir.
So we'd always be able to tell, hey, you did what you could do as of August 1. And the fact that it wasn't till August 5 that it made it to Ms. Deal, that's not a Mr. Deal issue. That's an our family wizard issue. And people, if that's going to be the mechanism, are just going to need to understand that it isn't quite like Zelle where 2 seconds later it pops up in your account. Is that a?
Say it verbally.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You pay child support through the Our Family Wizard app.
Yes, ma'am.
You paid the reimbursement for work-related childcare expenses through the app.
Yes.
You pay your percentage of health care reimbursables through the app.
Yes.
You paid your percentage of summer camp through the app.
Yes.
The variable expenses are the ones you're saying it keeps a really good log.
Yes.
The consistent expenses are less of a concern.
Right.
If you'll flip to Exhibit 7.
Okay.
Can you tell me what this document is?
It's a list of my custody days from 24 to 26.
And how many overnights did you have with the kids?
About. Should I read them or just?
No, go to the summary.
Okay. 173.
Which is what percentage of the year?
47.4.
Did you understand this would be your parenting schedule in 2024?
Yeah. In general, yes, I understood. I didn't understand that it'd be 173 nights, but my parenting schedule has been what I agreed to in 2024.
I want to make sure I follow that. I think we are saying the same thing that I extracted from Ms. McCormick, which is the parenting plan says that Mr. Deal will have the kids every Sunday, Monday night, and every other Friday, Saturday night. That's what you agreed to, but that parenting plan didn't add all that up.
Yes, sir.
But it turns out if you add all that up, it's about 173 days.
That's right.
So for last year, 2025, you were not required may be the wrong word because it's great to be with kids. You didn't exercise more parenting overnights than the parenting plan called you for. I mean, maybe one here or there, but in general, you were with the kids for overnights exactly as the parenting plan said.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which adds up to around 170. It's just there's some other document somewhere where for whatever reason someone put 117.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Could I say one other thing?
please. Yeah.
But the 173 nights is actually capped by Anna because I requested to take the kids on Tuesday night when she works, but she did not want me to. And also when Anna goes out of town to travel, I request to have the kids, but she does not let me have them during that time either. So in my opinion, it would be more than 173.
Okay.
If I had
What you've asked for, but the parenting plan, which is the governing document,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not Ms. Deal who's the governing document. The parenting plan is that you absolutely get the kids the nights you and I talked about. And that gets us to the 173. I don't know if there's a right of first refusal in the parenting plan. I'm sure the lawyers will bring it up, but that's a concept that I don't know that anyone asked for, where when one parent is going to be out of town on that parent's parenting night, the other parent has the chance to say, then the kids are with me, not with a babysitter, not at friends' houses, but they're with me. Sounds like that's what you've asked for. But if it's not in the parenting plan, then Ms. Deal isn't not letting you see them. It's just, that's not what the parenting plan calls for. In the same way that if you and Ms. Hewitt were going to go out of town one night when you had the kids, Ms. Deal might say, hey, let them stay with me. And you could say no, and you're not violating any agreement.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand.
Is there, since you're the attorney asking questions right now, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, is there a right of first refusal? No. Okay. Did you write the parenting plan?
No.
Okay. They left out an important piece.
If I may ask Ms. McCormick, are you going, your child support worksheets have Mr. Deal's income at the 117? Is that what you're going to put forward?
I think they match.
They match. What I'm trying to exclude is going through his taxes and pay stubs.
Your Honor, I don't know that there's a need for that. If she wishes to perfect the record by entering some additional information, she may, but we are in agreement that for the purposes of the child support, that the parties' incomes are what is reflected in their financial affidavit.
Right. That's what I heard in Ms. McCormick's opening, that actually a whole lot of facts are agreed on. So, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, if you want the record to include W-2s and tax returns, you certainly can admit those. It sounds like it will be without objection, and we'll go from there. I defer to you on that one, but it doesn't sound like there's going to be a fight. Oh, you actually made more. You're hiding some of your radiology income. The numbers are the numbers.
Thank you. Mr. Deal, can you flip to Exhibit 18?
I'm there.
Is your employer TriNet HR the third?
Yes, that's the company that manages our W-2 payments from Summit Radiology. But I work for Summit Radiology.
All right. This is a reflection of your 2025 W-2.
Yes.
Move to admit plaintiff's 18.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
If you'll skip to Exhibit 19. Is this a true and accurate reflection of your K-1 from Summit Radiology?
Yes.
Move to admit plaintiff's 19.
No objection.
Also admitted.
Do you receive, if you'll skip to 20? You run a consulting business?
And it's not a consulting business. It's a software integration company, but I wish it was a software integration company, but it's really just a lot of me sitting in front of my computer, but it's called CareBridge Systems.
And you took a small loss in 2025.
Yes.
This is a true and accurate reflection of your K-1 for CareBridge.
Yes.
Move to admit 20.
No objection.
Also admitted.
Why do you pay Rose a flat rate as opposed to hourly?
Because if she was to, you mean per day, right?
Yes.
Because it's the time, the hours may be unpredictable. If it's, if she doesn't, like, for example, if she was to pick the kids up and then bring them to my house, but she was to get there at my house at 6:30, I'm going to let her go. And I'm not going to deduct the hour because I want her to be consistent. So I just pay her the same thing every day, regardless, even if it's 3 hours or if it's 2 hours. I don't want her to not be available in one of those times when, if like I got hung up at work or something and I was going to be super late or just a little late. So I wanted to kind of be an easy yes for her because it's just these random periods.
It sounds like it can cut both ways. Sometimes she works a little less, sometimes a little bit more, and you two have agreed on what is a healthy average.
Yes, sir.
Her hourly rate based on the daily rate is quite high. How do you justify the high expense?
If I'm at work, it's basically two things. I work at different hospitals. Sometimes it's quite far away, like Cartersville. And on those days, my commute in will be longer. And I can't always predict where necessarily I'm going to be on a specific day. They switch us around and everything. So reliability is huge. So I pay her for a little bit for reliability. And then the second is because Anna requires absolute consistency with the time. And so I need her to be absolutely consistent. So it's kind of a, my hope was, I picked the number my hope was it was a good enough pay that she would take it and always be there when I needed her.
If you paid her a more traditional $20 to $22 per hour, you would worry about the consistency and reliability.
Right. Nobody's going to take a 4-hour week for $22 an hour and be consistent, because they'd have to get other work. I mean, I'm sure she has other work, but yeah.
And her monthly rate comes out to about $1,500.
That's right.
Until today, were you aware that Ms. Goldie was working Wednesday and Thursday mornings?
No.
Do you know if she was working Wednesday and Thursday in the past?
Yes. So I know that Melanie works all the days of the week, but I have no insight into when that is. So I didn't know that she works on Wednesday and Thursday morning until she said it.
Do you believe Ms. Goldie works times that are not work-related?
Yes.
Why?
I just heard her say it. And also the kids tell me, not that I'm interrogating them, but they say, Melanie took us to, like, for example, this past Sunday.
Objection per se.
It is. You can't tell us what the kids say, just what you know.
Okay.
Well, but he may know it because the kid said it. So to make it clearer, just focus on, you were about to give some examples of things Ms. Goldie just said that you felt were not work-related child support. So I'm happy to hear your assessment of her testimony. You just can't then add, and I also know that she takes the kids to Six Flags, because if the only way you know that is because the kids tell you, really, we need to have the kids come in here, or someone should have asked Ms. Goldie about it, and no one did. So we'll stick to what your assessment when she was describing the different things she does. Okay, that's not work related. I'm interested in your perspective on that.
Melanie, I just heard Melanie say that she has a very flexible schedule, that they work it out, that Anna and she work out when she's going to work, that she sometimes works Wednesday and Thursday, that she sometimes does, that it's less Friday because she has another obligation. I heard her say that she also works Saturday and Sunday when Anna does not work. So yes, I think that she works when Anna's not working.
On Monday and Tuesday mornings, the kids are with you?
Yes,
Who gets them ready for school?
me.
Do you believe Ms. Deal needs nanny care Wednesday and Thursday morning?
I don't know, but I don't believe it's work related. She may have a sleep schedule that she prefers, and I don't begrudge her that, but I don't think it's work related. I'm trying to answer it accurately. One other thing, if I could say, when I picked the children up the week before last on Sunday, I picked them up from Melanie. Anna Kate was out of town. She was not working. So another example of from my own experience.
No further questions reserved for redirect.
All right, give me 1 second, Ms. McCormick, and you can cross.
Ask you questions. Of course.
Okay,
Your Honor, I conferred with my opposing counsel. You will see this a lot in loosey-goosey family law world, but she is willing to let me go beyond the scope of her direct so that we can only have Mr. Deal on the stand one time, if that makes sense.
it does. And I don't think I put it in, I don't think I have a standing trial order for family, but in my civil standing trial order, I made very plain that had you, Ms. Hanrahan Freitag, called Ms. Deal, in your case, Ms. McCormick would be free to ask questions then and wouldn't waive the ability to call the person. So I am not focused on the scope of, I mean, I'll pay attention to scope of direct. If you start asking Mr. Deal about what he did in high school, that's not so germane. But if you want to cover everything now, I'll absorb it all now, and then he doesn't have to trek up to the stand a second time.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. It's my preference. Sometimes courts prefer to do it the other way unless there's an agreement between counsel. So
Okay,
I appreciate it.
sure.
All right, so good morning.
Morning.
And I'm going to refer to you, I apologize. I think both of you have earned your medical degrees, but it's easier to say Mr. and Ms. while you're in this, in the courtroom today. So I'm going to continue doing that. As you know, I'm Sarah McCormick. I'm the attorney for your ex-wife. It sounds to me, Mr. Deal, that you and my client are largely in alignment on how much you should pay a child care provider to be flexible and reliable. Do you agree with that?
I don't know.
Okay, so I heard you say about your nanny, Nanny Rose, that reliability is worth paying for. Did you just testify to that?
In that case, yes.
Okay, so to the extent that Ms. Goldie's $850 a week rate represents the ability to have her reliably participate for childcare for your children, you agree that that might be worth paying?
No, not really.
Why would it be, well, I guess you're not asking anyone to pay your nanny fees. You could pay her $10,000 a day, and right now that's purely your expense. Okay.
How did you come up with the $1,500 a month that you're including in your financial affidavit?
I negotiated it with Rose.
Okay, but I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, do you contend that that full $1,500 a month that you've included in Petitioners 1 on page 4, you can look at it if it's easier, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, it's on page 4.
Okay. Item 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just for clarification, we use that as Respondent's Exhibit 6 to the extent the court ever, I do have a notebook for Your Honor, which may I approach and go ahead and give it to you, Judge?
Sure. You never have enough binders.
Oh, I know. I often wonder what you guys do with them after. Actually,
It's funny you asked that. My judicial assistant is trying to figure out if there's a school that would take not the contents of the binder, but the binder.
Smart. That would be
Yeah,
excellent.
because we have a cabinet full of them. You open it and they fall out.
Right.
And they're very helpful here and now. Then this case is closed and we've got these binders.
We could come up with a collection with the family law bar, Judge. I'm sure we could just redistribute them at some point. Okay, so Mr. Deal, if you could look at Petitioners 1, do you see on page 4, I believe it's under children's expenses, you have Nanny Rose T at $1,500 a month.
Yes.
Okay, is it your contention before the court today that the $1,500 a month represents work-related childcare for you?
Yes.
Okay, and you think that's reasonable work-related childcare? Reasonable also, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe you said that the way you calculated that was coming up with approximately $40 an hour for the hours that Nanny Rose works for you.
For those hours, yes.
Okay. And I think that you testified that there are times that Nanny Rose is delivering the children to school that you would be available to deliver them to school.
No, usually I will do it if I'm available,
When would you not be available?
if I was at work.
Okay. So your contention is every time that you're available to take them to school, you do.
Usually, yes,
What's the exception?
if I'm at work. Or if, I'm not able to, but usually, yes.
When would you not be able to when you're not at work?
If I was driving home from work. Or if, we're talking about the pickups from Anna's house, is that right?
No, I'm talking about times that Nanny Rose might be driving your children to a location while you are available also at the same time to drive them to that location.
The only times that Rose does anything with my children is when she picks them up from Anna's house, which she does on Sunday, Monday, and Friday. And so on every once in a while on a Sunday, I'll let her pick the kids up, even if technically I could stop or what and go and pick them up. So sometimes, yes.
But you've included those Sunday pickups in the amount that you show in your financial affidavit, correct?
But
Yes or no?
I'm sorry, what, ask me the question again?
And just so we have this dynamic down, you do need to answer the question, yes or no, if there's a yes or no answer, but you always can explain it. So it may be yes, but it could be, I don't know, it could be maybe, or it depends, but make sure you answer the question and then explain to your heart's content. She'll ask it again.
Okay. So the Sundays that Nanny Rose is picking up the children, is that correct, from Ms. Deal's household?
Yes,
Those Sunday pickups are included in the $1,500 figure that you show on page 4.
yes,
Did my client work in the ER as a doctor during your marriage to her?
yes,
Did she have work-related obligations that she had to fulfill when she was not working at the ER?
yes.
What obligations were those?
No. Because the thing I was thinking about was an ultrasound teaching course. It was voluntary, wasn't a work-related obligation.
What's charting?
That's finishing your paperwork from your shift.
When you and Ms. Deal were together and she was an ER surgeon, would she ever do the charting at home?
Yes, sir.
So that would be work, but at home rather than at the hospital.
Yes,
Do you consider catching up on sleep to be related to your professional competency at the ER?
I don't know about, it's too vague for me to know the answer to that. I don't know the
Well, let me ask
professional
it,
competency.
let me ask it a different way. I'm sorry, I don't mean to I'm not trying to talk over you. Do you think that it is important for ER physicians to be well rested?
Yes,
Okay, so would you agree with me that maintaining a healthy sleep schedule could be said to be related to your work as an ER physician?
yes, it could be.
Now, I believe that you've said that you want the court to take summer camp outside of the child support worksheet, meaning not put that cost not include that cost as a factor in your child support calculation, but that each of you just pay your own summer camp on your own time, right?
Yes,
And is it your contention that you and Ms. Deal both have approximately equal amounts of summer vacation time with the children?
yes,
Do you and Ms. Deal make equal amounts of income, Mr. Deal?
no,
So in making that request to the court, you're asking that each of you pay approximately 50% of summer camp costs, even though you do not make equal amounts of income. Is that correct?
yes,
Your Honor, if I may approach with yet another notebook for Dr. Deal.
Sure.
Thank you. Actually, before I move on to that notebook, Mr. Deal, has my client ever insisted that you pay any form of child support to her through our family wizard?
No,
That was your election to do that, correct?
yes,
And when problems arose with payments being paid on time, did you stop using Our Family Wizard?
yes.
When?
We'd have to go look at it. I don't know.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is it sounded to me like you were trying to tell His Honor that the reason why my client would have had any problem getting paid child support on time was because of Our Family Wizard. Was that your contention?
Yes,
Okay. So if you were having problems with Our Family, how long did you have those problems with Our Family Wizard?
it's not consistent. It's unpredictable, but a year.
So you had problems for a year and did not change anything about the methodology of
not-
payment?
No, that's not what I said. All right, so-
Wait till she finishes her question before you answer,
Yes, sir.
but she finished.
Could you rephrase whatever you're asking me?
I said, so you waited a year during which you had problems with Our Family Wizard before you tried to change the methodology of payment?
No.
So what did you do?
When Anna told me that, so I had tried to pay Anna her the payments to her through Our Family Wizard. She told me on a given month that it had not cleared yet. I tried to resubmit the payment. It also did not clear. The following, I'm sorry, let me change that. I tried to resubmit the payment, and that, on that instance I'm talking about, it did clear. A month or two goes by. I submit the payment through Our Family Wizard. Anna sends me a message in Our Family Wizard that says the payment has not cleared. After that had happened 2 or 3 times, I tried to switch to issuing her a check. Anna had suggested using Zelle, but Zelle has a number limit that's below what I pay her. So I'd have to break it into like 6 payments over, and you have to wait 24 hours. So that was not, I didn't think that was a good alternative. So I tried to send her checks. The first time I tried to send them through Bank of America directly. When I issued the check, Bank of America told me it was like the 28th or 29th of the month that they had sent the check. Anna told me that, 5 or 6 days later that she did not receive it. I double checked with Bank of America. They said that it was sent. So I ended up having to cancel those checks and then resubmit her another check. So then I found another company to try to check that gave me a receipt of when it was sent. It still had a delay to Anna. She still complained about it. So then I tried to switch back to Our Family Wizard.
Have you ever tried to set up an ACH recurring payment from your bank account to her bank account?
I don't think so. Maybe.
So
Would you be opposed if I don't know how that works, but would you be opposed to using that channel if it is reliable, documentable, and they don't charge you $100 each time you do it?
Totally.
Okay, you're neutral on what the channel is as long as it's documentable. So if someone claims you didn't, you can say, no, look, it's right there. And it's reliable, so you're not having to deal with these headaches with the Our Family Wizard.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and Mr. Deal, if you could please turn to page 4 of the child support addendum. In my notebook, the final consent order is behind Respondent's Exhibit 1, so it's behind tab 1. And if you could turn to page 4 of the child support addendum. And Your Honor, I could move to admit this. It's part of the court's record, so I think that Your Honor could take judicial notice of it, but I could also move to admit it as the court wishes.
However you want to do it. It's not is it in this docket?
No, so
I would admit it because if it's in a different docket, someone might find it, but they might not.
move to admit, Your Honor, what's been marked as Respondent's Exhibit 1.
Which is the consent final order that I called DeKalb, but you've explained it ultimately was here in Fulton because they were consolidated and Judge Ellerby signed it in September of 24.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. Respondents 1 with all its attachments is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. So with that, Mr. Deal, have you had a chance to find page 4 of the child support addendum?
I think so. The
Okay.
signature page.
No, I'm looking at nanny costs. It's subparagraph E.
Sorry, I think I'm,
It's confusing. It's fine.
okay.
Take your
I found
time.
it.
All right. Do you see the subparagraph E, nanny costs? Do you see the sentence that says the father shall pay $1,828 per month to the mother, representing his contribution towards her nanny costs, currently $3,655 per month.
Yes,
So you agree with me that you knew how much was being paid to Ms. Goldie at the time that you entered into the 2024 consent order?
yes,
And you agree with me that you knew how much parenting time you would be receiving when you altered the parenting schedule as part of the 2024 consent order?
yeah, I think so, yes.
Okay. And
What about the consent order in 24 altered the parenting schedule?
Your Honor, it gave him Sunday and Monday overnights only. So he had his weekend, which would go from Friday to Sunday, but because my client was working overnights on Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays, the parenting plan was altered so that he would just get the children essentially from 6:30 p.m. until they were delivered by what was anticipated to be a nanny to school the following morning.
So it added the overnights.
Correct.
It didn't take anything away from Mr. Deal, but it added those Sunday, Monday overnights.
Correct, Your Honor. It also added to the holiday schedule somewhat.
Okay.
Yes.
But in terms of routine, the Friday, Saturday, every other, that didn't change. It just added every Sunday, Monday overnight to Mr. Deal.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And do you agree with me that, Mr. Deal, what you were supposed to have done is included the $1,828 per month in the payment made to my client? I believe it was to be made on the 1st of each month.
Yes.
But you didn't do that, did you?
What, could you tell me, ask me the question again?
Did you pay my client on the 1st of each month, starting with September 1st, 2024, $6,228 every payment?
I attempted to, yes.
To your testament, you did not send her one payment of $4,400 and another payment of $1,828?
Our family wizard doesn't let you submit a $7,400 payment all in one. So I broke it into the 3, the child support, the daycare, and then the nanny costs. The numbers are listed in the worksheet, so I just paid each in 3 payments all on the same day, and usually that works.
Where are you allowed to do that in Respondents Exhibit 1? Where does it say that's okay in this consent order that you entered into in 2024?
I don't know.
Where does it say it's not okay if it's paid on the same day? I mean, couldn't he have broken it down into $1,006 payments if they all go across in the same day?
I don't know yet. It says it's supposed to go together with the 4,400, although I understand what the court's point is.
Well, I'm not being nitpicky. It would seem like the focus would be, does father pay the entire amount on the day, whether it's broken into pieces technically because OFW, as we call it in the trade, can't manage something that big, just like Zelle. I'm not feeling like that's a violation of the order. It would be if he was holding off on the 1828s. I'm not going to pay that till the 15th. I'm annoyed by this one. I'm going to drag that one out every time. And that may be what you're about to show. But if it was, I couldn't send it all at once because of the $5,000 cap. I thought, this doesn't seem illogical to me. Here are the 3 things I'm supposed to pay in the worksheet. And each of them is less than 5. So I'll send that one. And then 30 seconds later, I'll send that one. And then the 3rd one. And I don't know what you can document and what you can't, but if the documents show that it's what I just described, that seems to me to be consistent with the intent of the September 24 agreement.
Understood, Your Honor. Did you do that, Mr. Deal? Divide it up into 3 payments that were all made on the same day, on the 1st?
Yeah, yes.
You were represented by an attorney at the time that you entered into the consent order that we've marked as Respondents Exhibit 1, correct?
I don't know.
Did you have an attorney represent you in 2024?
Yes,
And did that attorney sit with you at any mediation or discussion, or did that attorney give you input prior to you entering into the 2024 consent order? I don't want you to get into what they said to you.
yes,
So you were provided advice when you entered into Respondents Exhibit 1.
yes.
And if you could look at paragraph 6A of Respondents Exhibit 1, do you agree with me that it was my client's responsibility on Sundays and Mondays that you kept the children overnight? It was my client's responsibility to feed and bathe them before they were delivered to you.
It does say that in this, yeah, the last line there.
Okay. So what happened with you when you had your parenting time increased to include the Sunday and Monday overnights? What you did is you provided beds for the children to sleep in and breakfast for them the next day and a ride to school. Is that correct?
Definitely, yeah.
And
But that's not all, of course, but yeah.
weren't you supposed to use Ms. Goldie, the nanny who testified today, to get the children to school on your mornings with them?
I was supposed to try to use Melanie.
Okay, what I'm looking at is paragraph 6B, the second sentence. Do you see the sentence that says parties will seek assistance from mother's current nanny before retaining another provider if he needs assistance?
Yes,
So you agree that your first, talk about right of first refusal, you had to ask first if she could help you on your mornings before you were supposed to solicit another care provider.
right. In the afternoons. And I did ask her.
And at some point, well, during some period of time, she did in fact do that for you, did she not?
She told me she was unavailable.
There wasn't a period of time shortly after this order was entered that she did the morning drop-offs for you?
She does the morning drop-offs.
Wait, I thought you said she was unavailable.
In the afternoons. I just was confused by the question. I'm sorry.
Okay. But the morning drop off, so they arrive at your house, bathed and fed, you do what you do with them, they eventually go to sleep, you get them ready in the morning, and then Ms. Goldie shows up and gets them to wherever they need to be.
Yes, sir.
So under the 2024 consent order, you benefited from Ms. Goldie in that respect, correct?
In that sense, yeah. I mean, I paid for the benefit, but yes.
Right. And you understood what the amount you were paying was based on, because we've already gone over the portion of the consent order that referenced her monthly rate, right?
I understood her monthly rate, if you're asking me that.
And it was an issue, was it not? Didn't you also contend in 2024, Mr. Deal, that Ms. Goldie was working for my client during times that she was not at work?
Yes,
So that was also an issue in 2024.
yes.
Okay. If you could turn from to what I've marked as Respondents Exhibit 5.
Tab 5.
Yes, please.
I got it. I'm tracking now.
Is this a true and correct copy of a letter that your attorney received from Ms. Deal's then attorney on April 18th of 2024?
I don't know.
Well, feel free to look through it, please.
I see that it's an email or a letter.
And do you agree that this letter contained the October 2023 contract with Ms. Goldie that your attorney has already entered into evidence?
Randy didn't give me every piece of correspondence that he had with Michelle, and I've never seen this, this particular email, so I can't really, I'm not saying that that it's not accurate, or that it is accurate.
If you haven't seen it, then you aren't the right person to talk about it.
Correct. But you concede, Mr. Deal, that this was similarly an issue in 2024. You thought that Ms. Goldie was working for my client when my client was not herself then working, right?
I did think that in 2024.
but you nevertheless agreed to include in the 2024 consent order the amount paid to Ms. Goldie that we've already gone over in petitioners, excuse me, what I've marked as Respondents Exhibit 1.
Yes, but if in our agreement, I asked Randy to add a sentence that said, if there was additional childcare outside of work-related childcare that I wasn't responsible for it.
Right, but the portion you were responsible for was the ongoing regular rate of $8.50 a week.
At that time, yes.
And her rate hasn't changed, has it, since 2023?
I don't know her rate, but her rate, she heard her say it herself that it's variable how many, she gets a salary and it's variable how many hours she works, meaning an unknown rate.
But whatever the figure is, if we call it a salary or a rate, she just testified it's $8.50 now. Sounds like it was $8.50 back when you were working through this.
Yes, sir.
And if you could also look a little bit further in paragraph 6 of Respondents Exhibit 1, I'm on subparagraph C of paragraph 6. Do you agree that there is a sentence that you included in this consent order that says parties agree to maintain mother's current nanny or equivalent replacement regardless of whether she provides AM assistance to father?
It does say that.
Okay, so do you agree with me, Mr. Deal, that that represents your agreement, at least at this time, that those nanny costs, the ones we've already gone over, were appropriate?
No, I don't know. I don't know what if you're asking me this, like that sentence, you just asked me about that sentence. Michelle and his lawyer put that sentence there. So Melanie would not be forced to provide assistance to me if she didn't want to, because we did not have her present. We were sitting at a table all together. Melanie wasn't present. So she added that for that reason. I don't know. Could you ask me the question again?
Do you agree with me that paragraph 6C represents your concession that the work-related childcare costs that my client had in 2024, that are the same costs she has in 2026, were appropriate to be included in the court's calculation of child support?
Do I agree that I'm just trying to figure out what I'm agreeing to here.
And don't agree if you're not sure what it is.
That's fine.
So do I agree that the costs calculated represented in this worksheet at this time were appropriate?
Yes.
Yes.
And the children benefit from their relationship with Ms. Goldie, do they not?
Yes, I love Melanie. I think she's wonderful. So I love that that she's in their life.
And you think that it's a long-standing beneficial relationship that exists between Ms. Goldie and your 3 children?
Yes, I do. But I also don't think that even the most wonderful childcare provider is a stand-in for a parent. And so I don't, I would never put her in front of her mom or me.
Well, have you filed a modification of parenting time, Mr. Deal?
Yes, I have.
But is there a modification request of your parenting time before the court right now?
No.
Wouldn't that be a way of substituting your own parent care for child care in this case?
Objection asks him to make a legal conclusion. There's no basis for a modification of parenting time in the law. So asking him a question about his agreement to that is.
Okay, I hear your objection. I didn't hear the question that way. So why don't you phrase it slightly differently? I think I understand what you're getting at, which is what I'm hearing is, if you're frustrated that Ms. Goldie is basically playing parent in non-work time, well, but if it's work time for Mr. Deal, Asking for more parenting time doesn't scratch that itch.
Okay. Why don't you tell the court what your schedule typically is, Mr. Deal?
Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, with a obligation to cover the 1/5 of the overnight calls of the year, which tends to be every 5th week in a chunk.
And can you identify any time periods that you have asked Ms. Deal to be able to take care of your children instead of Ms. Goldie?
That I've asked her to, that I asked Anna to take care of the kids instead of
Ms.
Melanie?
Goldie, yes.
No, I have no idea when Anna or Melanie or whoever is taking care of the kids, and I don't ask about that. I only know what she has said.
I'm just asking you to ask. Have you ever said to my client, I would rather that our children be cared for by a parent versus a child care provider?
I have said that in the past, yeah.
Okay, and have you asked her for the schedule so that you can see if you have any potential times that you could provide care
Yes.
for the children? Have you brought documents to show the court that today?
No, I don't know. Monica, did we bring those documents? Okay. Our family wizard, messages, probably have 30 of times of me asking for time that, that I could take the children.
Do you have any work-related obligations, Mr. Deal, that extend into hours that you're not actually at work?
I would say yes, because my job never ends. If somebody might call me and ask me a medical question at 10 o'clock at night. So yeah,
And isn't it possible that those types of obligations also happen during Ms. Deal's parenting time?
yes. That's the thing about being a parent, is you have to balance that. I know exactly how it is.
And sometimes you need a little help from a child care provider during those times.
If it's work-related time, yeah. But I don't know that I would try to hire a nanny to come to my house for 4 minutes so I take a phone call. But I mean, sure.
Does your fiance pay any portion of the $1,500 a month that you pay to Nanny Rose?
No,
Is Nanny Rose paid any additional amounts beyond the $1,500 a month?
every once in a while, Spencer will use her on a night or something, or an afternoon, and she pays her separately for that.
Does Spencer have her own kids?
She has 2 kids.
And so the Ms. Rose would be taking care of Ms. Hewitt's kids.
On those nights.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's a completely separate, it's a happy coincidence because she trusts Rose because you work with Rose, but it's entirely unrelated to care of the 3 kids you share with Ms. Deal.
That's right.
Did you and my client have a nanny during your marriage?
Yes.
And can you tell the court when the nanny would work for you during the marriage?
The nanny would generally work during Anna's shifts. Yeah, generally during Anna's shifts,
And when were her shifts, daytime or nighttime?
both.
And so during overnight shifts, when you were available,
No, then the nanny would not work then. If I was at home and Anna was working, then the nanny did not work.
so when, if ever, would the nanny work an overnight shift?
If both of us were working overnight that night.
And did that happen upon occasion?
Not often, but every once in a while.
So is it fair to say that employing a nanny has been part of your family's childcare culture, for lack of a better phrase?
Yes. I was in my training at that time too. Training hours are much more significant than out in private practice, unfortunately. But so it was harder then.
What prevented you? Oh, I want to turn to what I've marked as Respondents Exhibit 3. Could you turn to that, Mr. Deal? Do you agree with me that this is a true and correct copy of an affidavit that you put together in support of your response to our motion to dismiss?
Yes.
Move to admit respondents 3, Your Honor.
No objection.
Okay.
It's admitted. This isn't any different other than it has the affidavit piece on top from the chart, I think, that Ms. Hanrahan Freitag was using.
Hers is a bit more extended, Your Honor, but it has
Okay,
the
same
same.
numbers.
Same numbers, correct.
Got it. So respondents 3 is admitted.
Thank you. And do you have to deal with numbers and math as part of your job as a doctor?
Yes.
I mean, that's partly why I'm not a medical doctor myself. So do you consider yourself to be fairly precise
I try to be,
and detail oriented?
try to be.
So what would have precluded you from calculating the new number of nights that you had in 2024 the same way that you did here in Respondents Exhibit 3 in 2026?
You're saying what? I don't know. I don't know.
You agree with me that you could have done this. In 2024, had you cared about the number of additional nights that you were adding to your schedule, you could have undertaken the kind of math that you did in 2026, shown in Respondents number 3.
I'm not claiming that, or if you're saying I could have done the math beforehand, then I guess maybe, but to me,
I'm asking you, Mr.
Objection, allow him to complete his answer.
He was just about to say something more.
to me, we were all sitting at a table with our 2 lawyers, and we said that I will get 2 more nights a week while she's working, and then here's the worksheet. And so I said, okay. And so that was my interface with that decision. It wasn't a microscopic, dosing calculation. So I don't know the answer beyond that.
I just want to understand how any part of the parenting plan you entered into in 2024 was unanticipated.
I had more days than the plan said that I was supposed to have.
So, but we talked about this already. You had the exact number of days that the plan described. Days and nights, the exact number. Every other Friday, Saturday, and every Sunday night, Monday night. That's what and you've done that, and no one is saying, hey, he's not been available. It just so happens that someone said that's 117, and that was a mistake.
Yes, sir.
And so you heard someone say scrivener's error, which is lawyer for a typo. And maybe it should have been 171 instead of 117, but it says 117. But do you agree, because this is where I'm wrestling with, that you actually have not had more responsibility for the children you share with Ms. Deal than everyone agreed to and negotiated and signed off on in the September 24 situation? They just hung the wrong number on that. Am I understanding it correctly?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So it would be correct both to say you haven't had any extra days and to say I've had a whole lot more than 117. Both those things are true.
Yes, sir.
And if 117 was a number that was used to drive some calculations, there might be a mistake in the calculations, but it's not that, gosh, I worked all these extra days. Ms. Deal's just been pushing the kids off on me in a way inconsistent with the agreement.
No, she hasn't done that.
Okay.
Okay, so towards that end about math, I think that the difference between 117 and 173 is 56 nights. Does that sound right?
It is.
Okay.
Okay. So if since 2024 you had 56 more nights with the kids, and I'm saying nights because we've gone through this, Mr. Deal, it's overnight. You get them after dinner and bath, you have overnight, and then you do breakfast and school delivery.
Well, they're
right?
not always having dinner and bath, and it's not always, but
let's not get hung up on it. I appreciate that sometimes they may eat with you, et cetera. There's just a distinction between the full days of Friday, Saturday, and what I'm gonna call the evening, the sleepovers, the overnights.
well, I think if you're asking my opinion about that, then, like, for example, today, Monday, I brought the kids to school this morning. Melanie, it sounded like, but I don't know who, so, yeah, either Melanie or Anna will pick the kids up this afternoon. And then at 6, they'll come to, I'm sorry, it's Tuesday to now, but if it was Monday, then at 6, they would come to my house again. And then they stay overnight. And then the next morning, get them up and get them to school. So the overnights thing, it's like to me, it doesn't, register that way. But if you're asking me, is that the question? You're asking me that I feel like they're only overnights? Absolutely not.
Oh, no, you're saying that from an emotional perspective. To you, it's not quote unquote just an overnight, right?
Say that one more time.
To you, it's more significant emotionally than just an overnight.
Well, and time and logistics. So,
Okay.
yeah.
But if since 2024 you had, in one calendar year, 56 more nights with the kids, in what way would that change your mortgage?
It wouldn't.
And if since 2024 you had 56 more nights with the kids per year, in what way would that have changed your utility bills?
It might have gone up a little bit, a bit.
Have you?
They leave the door open in the winter.
I know my kids do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to say that you've not brought any calculation to Judge McBurney showing how much more of a financial burden those additional 56 nights per year were to you?
No, I'm not trying to itemize out the 56 nights. I'm just asking to recalculate the child support worksheet.
Would it? Remind me again how much you make per year?
Last year is 1.3 million.
And I think you already agreed with your attorney that you make more now in 2026 than you did in 2024.
Slightly, yeah.
And at the time of the 2024 consent order, when it was negotiated and agreed upon, you knew that my client employed Ms. Melanie Goldie, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that Ms. Goldie was being paid at a monthly rate reflected in the 2024 consent order.
Yes.
And you knew that my client worked a certain schedule, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday overnights, correct?
Yes.
And that schedule hasn't changed, has it, to your knowledge?
I don't know if it's changed, but so I don't know.
Okay. But you have no reason to believe that schedule has changed since 2024 as you sit here in court today?
No, I don't.
So if I'm under deal, what you're asking the judge to do is to reduce your $4,400 a month direct child support amount. That's exclusive of the nanny contribution. You want him to reduce that to $2,113 per month, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you also want his honor to keep extracurriculars, what we call outside of the worksheet, meaning that the court keeps in place the original child support arrangement where each of you pay 50% of extracurricular costs, and yours is capped at $2,500 per child per, it's either academic or calendar year, but I don't have it in front of me.
Yes.
Okay. And you want the difference to be with the summer camp. Before, in the original 2024 consent order, summer camps were divided 50-50, correct?
Yes, I think so.
And what you're asking now is for that cost to essentially be left out of the child support calculation and each of you pay for childcare on your own time, even though you and my client do not make equal amounts of money, right?
Yes, the reason for that is because last summer, not only did Anna ask me to pay for Lily's daycare throughout the summer, but also in addition, summer camps, and it was really expensive. And so and it was also a lot of times that neither one of us was working. So I thought that since we have to have this discussion, then I would ask that we just pay our own summer camp to take that out of it.
Well, the summer camp and extracurricular costs on your financial affidavit seem fairly considerable to me, Mr. Deal. Do you agree with that?
I don't know how it seems to you.
Okay, if you would, that's fair. If you would turn to Respondent's Exhibit 6, which was already admitted as Petitioner's 1.
Okay, I'm on Exhibit 6.
Yes, thank you. And if you could turn to page 405.
Okay. I'm there.
Okay, and you have summer camps at $1,600 per month. Do you see that?
Let me find it.
It's a-
Lower right-hand corner.
Correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, that's not a small number, is it? I mean, that's 1,600 times 12, right?
No, it's like, for example, slime camp for 3 kids, and it's like $400 a kid. You can get to 1,600. Of quickly if you're choosing to do that. So
Well, this is me just channeling my English majorness, Mr. Deal, but I mean, I'm coming up with 1,600 times 12 as being $19,200 a year. Is that how much is typically incurred by you for summer
Oh.
camps?
no, I don't think so. I don't know. Or maybe when I filled this out, maybe I had listed the prior years summer camp that I'd paid for Lily and for all of their stuff and a Kate or something like that. But you're right. $1,600 times 12 is too much. I haven't paid that much in summer camp.
In your family culture, do children attend overnight summer camps ever?
No.
Turner, I'm just looking through. I think I'm about finished.
You might have meant to write 160 there, but I don't have all the math in front of me now.
Is it possible that you took that figure from one of my client's child support worksheets and you just assumed it was accurate?
No, I don't have her worksheets.
Mr. Deal, wasn't an automatic child support reduction included in the 2024 consent order? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
No.
Okay. Wasn't it true that once Lily, your youngest, is no longer she no longer has daycare costs, does she?
No, right. That's
Right. And wasn't there a portion of the 2024 consent order that automatically reduced your child support amount when she no longer had those costs?
Yes.
And you have benefited from that self-effectuating reduction, have you not?
Yes.
You're paying less now than you did at the start of the 2024 consent order, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm looking at page 2 of the child support addendum, which again is Respondents Exhibit 1.
Okay, I'm there.
And do you agree with me that your original monthly total that you were paying, I'm at paragraph 4, the child support amount. Do you agree that the original monthly total that you were paying between the nanny contribution and the daycare costs and the direct child support amount was $7,878 per month?
Yes.
And that when Lily no longer had those daycare costs, you got an automatic reduction to $6,228 per month?
So, yeah.
And that actually has already gone into effect, hasn't it?
Yes.
And it went into effect while this modification action was ongoing.
Yes. Yes.
And despite knowing that that automatic reduction was coming, you elected to file this case in January of 2026.
Yes.
When you say it's coming, when, I must have missed one piece. When did the reduction kick in? Just this fall? Well, I say fall, it's still summertime, but basically in early August, Lily began kindergarten. And so going forward, if nothing changes as a result of this, you'll be at 6228 rather than 7878. So a reduction of $1,600 a month, which is however much you said summer camp would be if it was $1,600 a month for 12 months. Okay, got it. All right.
Thank you.
You bet. I'm gonna let you do redirect. I need to make sure our court reporter doesn't need a break. You're good? She's good? Okay. What I think we'll do is finish with Mr. Deal's testimony and then give everyone a quick break. Lunch break is going to be closer to 1 because of my 1 o'clock, but I want to give people a break. We've been at it now for over 2 hours, unless your redirect is 45 minutes.
I don't anticipate that.
Well, let's see how long it goes.
Mr. Deal, have you asked Ms. Deal for overnights on Tuesday?
Yes.
Did you ask Ms. Deal for overnights on Tuesday in 2024?
Yes.
The 2024 agreement, what was Ms. Deal's response?
No, that they were going to stay with her.
Tuesdays are nights when she is doing her ER work.
Is it?
You asked You may have answered this. You asked for that in 2024.
Yes. I've consistently asked for any time that if she was going to be out of town or working overnight, could they come to stay with me? And yes, in 2024, probably before that.
The 2024 agreement you reached was a comprehensive agreement for parenting time and child support.
Yes,
At the time, prior to the 2024 order, you were seeing the kids about 4 days a month.
that's right.
Pursuant to the 2024 order, you were seeing them closer to 40% of the month.
Right.
Were you willing to make concessions financially to secure that parenting
That's
time?
exactly what I did. Yes.
What were the financial concessions you made?
Well, the child support went up. Which was, it was recalculated. It was recalculated.
Okay,
And,
but the figure was higher as a result of the 24 settlement than it was before,
yes, sir.
even though you were getting more time with the kids.
Right.
Okay,
Because when we had divorced, I was an associate and I was buying into that practice. So I made significantly less money.
got it.
And then a year later, I finally made it to a partner.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you believe the cost of Melanie was reasonable in 2024?
Did I believe it? I believed it enough to be willing to agree to it. I had questions and I asked Anna then about would the nanny, would that much childcare be needed? But it was worth it at the time, to make that agreement work. So the question is, will you ask me it one more time? I'm sorry.
Did you agree that the cost for Melanie was reasonable?
Yes, yes,
Was it part of a comprehensive agreement?
yes.
In isolation, did you believe that amount was reasonable?
No,
Did you believe it was reasonable to pay for daycare and a nanny?
no, and there was significant overlap. Like the year prior to that, and which is what created that agreement or whatever. The year prior to that, Anna had sent me a specific day, the nanny worked this day, pay me this amount. But all those days would come across and they'd be days where the kids were actually with me, or they'd be days where the kids were in daycare the majority of the day because the daycare sent a attendance thing to me every day. So when they're checked in and when they're checked out. So I said, well, this isn't right. So anyway, no.
Have you reimbursed Ms. Camp for all summer camps for the kids?
Who's Miss Camp?
Anna.
By mistake, Ms. Deal.
Is that the same person?
No, Ms. Camp I was talking about camp and I.
Oh, got it. You got the word switched.
Sorry.
I just wasn't sure. I heard Miss Deal had remarried and so we have another name now. Okay.
Ms. Deal, have you reimbursed Ms. Deal for all summer camps?
I think so, yes. Yeah, anything that she has sent me in our family wizard, I've paid it. And so there's been summer camps. I don't think this year they didn't do as many summer camps. To my knowledge, they didn't do any at my house, but
Have you rejected any expenses Ms. Deal has placed in our family wizard?
no,
Not for healthcare reimbursements?
no.
Not for summer camp?
No.
How about extracurricular?
The short answer is no, but we had agreed that the children were going to stop swimming and go on to a different extracurricular, and then Anna continued swimming. And initially I tried to say, well, then, we agreed not to, then you pay for the swimming, but then I went ahead and paid it anyway, and I've paid it since then, and I think it was a mistake to even say that. But, so yeah, the short answer is I haven't rejected any payment.
I think I heard you testify you took the kids to school this morning.
Yes.
Why not Ms. Golden?
I didn't know if she was coming because sometimes she sleeps in, sometimes she doesn't come. It got to be 7 o'clock. I knew if it got any later, so I went ahead and took them. But I had intended that she would take them because we had court, but in case super traffic or something, but she was late, didn't contact me, and so I took them.
Is that a frequent occurrence that you're left wondering, are you going to show up or not?
Yes, yeah, at least once a month, but yeah. And that it's hard because, you know, Melanie works for Anna. And so I can try to, you know, kind of ping. They're like, hey, are you coming to, you know, and generally the night before I send a text and say, just confirming you're going to be here tomorrow. And I sent that Sunday, she confirmed she was there Monday, but I forgot to send that text Tuesday night or Monday night. And then it occurred to me that she was probably going to be in court. So I was like, I just went ahead and took him.
You shared that on Sunday, Nanny Rose picked up from Nanny Melanie.
This most recent Sunday, I picked the kids up from Melanie. Yeah.
Did you pay Nanny Rose for that day?
I don't remember. Probably yes. I think so. I think I paid her anyway.
On this past Sunday, just 2 days ago, you anticipated picking the kids up from Ms. Deal?
This past Sunday. Okay, this past 2 days ago, the nanny Rose picked the kids up from Anna.
Okay.
The week before that, I picked them. Sorry about that.
The week before that, you picked up from Melanie.
From Melanie, right?
Do you have any concerns about using ACH for the non-standard reimbursements?
Yes.
What is that?
It is very hard to track and prove that you consistently paid it. And Anna has said that in the past that I have not paid things that I've then had to prove that I had paid. And I don't want to run into that again. Our Family Wizard tracks it and the payment goes item by item.
Do you know a way to do that within ACH?
An ACH is just a bank transfer. Is that right?
To my knowledge,
Yeah,
yes.
you don't get to ask her questions, but we will work through. One thing that will come out of this will be a refinement to the way in which money moves back and forth. And it may be that there are two channels. If there's something that is the same every single month, why not ACH that one? And then you don't run into especially if it's more than 5,000. But you're being, I find, very reasonable in saying, I want it to be documentable, so we don't butt heads of you did pay or you didn't. But I think it's very reasonable for Ms. Deal to expect things to arrive pretty much when you send them. And if they're not arriving then, because it's your fault, but they just aren't, we need to come up with a different channel. So we'll work through that.
Do you believe Nanny Melanie is overcompensated?
Yes.
Why?
Well, it's complicated. Melanie lived with Anna for I think 6 months. So, you know, I don't know. I don't have any insight into their relationship, and it's, you know, it's fine as best I can tell. Melanie is great with the kids. But in terms of being, legally required to pay that kind of money to her, you would think that she had significant work-related work hours, which she doesn't. So based on that, I think that she's probably overcompensated.
All right. Her work-related childcare hours are the Tuesday overnight.
Right.
And what else?
I don't know what else. Nothing.
Is it your position she could deliver the children? They're with you Sunday and Monday. So Tuesday overnight. Does she need care on Wednesday?
Well, I don't know. I think, oh, and I said, Melanie also brings my kids to school on most Monday and Tuesday mornings. So that's also work related. So I left that out. Wednesday, I guess to bring them to school Wednesday morning.
Could Anna Kate do that when she gets off her shift at 7 a.m.?
She could. That's like when I finish a shift, and I do something with the kids, but, she could.
Okay. Does she need work-related childcare on Thursdays?
No. Unless she works.
Does she need work-related childcare on Friday,
No,
Saturday,
no,
Sunday?
no.
Just one moment. Nothing further right now.
Super briefly, Your Honor, I promise.
Okay, famous last words.
I know, Judge, but I promise I'll try. Mr. Deal, I was trying to sort of recreate something I thought maybe the court was doing when we were speaking with Ms. Goldie. Do you agree that the 2 hours she spends delivering the children to school on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are work-related?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about 8 hours right there?
6 hours or at max, probably more like 3 hours. But
I was thinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
no, not Thursday. Monday with me, from my house, yes. Tuesday from my house, yes. Wednesday, if her mom works overnight, Tuesday night, yes, in the morning.
Okay, so you're coming up with 6 hours there. What do you consider to be an overnight shift in terms of hours for coverage by Ms. Goldie?
I didn't say 6 hours. I said 3 hours, but an overnight shift? Well, I don't know when Anna works. So, when does Anna, or I can't answer her question.
You
Whenever
don't-
she works is when the shift would be,
Okay.
with maybe a little bit of time for
Well,
her to get.
Let me ask it this way. Do you think it's possible that there are 20 hours of work-related childcare to be provided by Ms. Goldie in any given week?
Probably not. It's probably, 9 or 10 hours when the night Anna works, and then 3 hours it's probably like 12 hours, maybe, probably very similar to what I use with the three. I use 9 hours.
Well, I guess what I was trying to figure out, you've already testified that you think $40 an hour is an appropriate and reasonable rate because that's what you pay Nanny Rose, correct?
No. I chose to pay Rose that for my own convenience and consistency. I didn't ask Anna to pay that, but so no, I don't think it's an appropriate rate for a consistent person that you're paying on salary, no.
Okay, so you think $40 an hour, you wouldn't pay that for flexibility and reliability. You think it's worth your time, your money to pay $40 an hour for reliability and flexibility, but my client shouldn't be able to pay her child care provider for that those same two concepts.
Don't think that. But I had to pay more to get a child care provider to work these little discrete periods and be 100% reliable. So I did have to pay more than what I would say is the average rate for that.
Okay,
I'd love to pay her less.
right. But you think that that higher hourly rate is partly a product of somebody agreeing to be flexible and reliable as a childcare provider?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And when you were talking about the negotiation in 2024, the amount of parenting time that you received, the increase was important to you, right?
Yes.
And it was so important that you were tying it somewhat in your testimony to the issue of child support. Knowing the amount of parenting time that you were getting, you agreed knowledgeably and consciously to the amount of child support in the 2024 consent order.
Yes.
And when you filed this case, you did not file this case on the basis of having exercised more overnights with the children than anticipated, did you?
I don't know.
All right, I want you to turn to what we've marked as Respondents Exhibit 4.
Okay.
Is that a true and correct copy of the complaint for modification of child support that you filed on January 16th of 2026?
Yes.
And could you turn to page 2, paragraph 7 of that complaint?
Yeah, I'm there. Read it or?
Well, let me.
I can read it.
Yes. Where in this complaint do you reference anything about exercising more parenting time than anticipated in 2024?
Let me read through it. I see the substantial decrease in need for full-time nanny. Yes. Let me go back to,
Kyle, it's not there.
oh, okay.
Well, I mean, changed circumstances, arguably, that could be the changed circumstances, just not articulated as I have more overnights than originally contemplated.
That's fair, Your Honor, and then under the notice pleading concept. I don't
Right.
have anything further.
Okay. Mr. Deal, you're done with your testimony for now, probably for the trial, but I can't guarantee that. You can step down. You can leave all the binders up there. We're going to take, this is going to seem like a short break, but we'll stop a little before 1 for lunch. So let's try to keep it to 5 or 6 minutes. And when we get back, well, let me find out. Do you have other witnesses you're going to call, Ms. Hanrahan-Freitag?
I'm just Ms. D.
Okay, great. So Ms. Deal, you're going to be up next. Ms. McCormick, are you planning on, when Ms. Deal is testifying, getting out everything through your cross, or you'll also recall her after she steps down?
Your Honor, my hope is to not play the bobblehead game and only have both of them on the stand one time.
Great. Okay, sounds like a plan. We'll reconvene in 5 or 6 minutes. Thank you.
I guess the moral of the story is don't agree. Because if there happens to be a mistake or a number is wrong and you agreed, an attorney like this one will drag you through the mud because you agreed. But it sounds like you're allowed to bring it back after 2 years, which would be 24 months. This happens to be 23 months. And they discussed that at the beginning, that they agreed that hearing it at the 23rd month, because that's when the court had time and everybody else was available, they would hear it. And this attorney is trying to make it like, you agreed, we can't go back on that now. He's not trying to go back over the past 2 years. He's trying to get the next 2 years right. And it wouldn't be implemented until the 24th month anyway. So I don't know why this attorney is harping on this. You agreed. It's wrong. She's getting way more money than she needs. Little ones do not cost $8,000 a month each, because some of the costs are shared. So this is just ridiculous. I'm wondering what's mom doing with all the money? What is she putting forward? What is the support for? All of these extras get paid by dad, or the majority of it does. Medical, insurance, majority of it gets paid by dad. So what is mom even paying for? I don't understand. Anyway, Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the like button, hype this video if you can, and then get ready for part 2 because that's Mom coming up. So I'm going to do part 2 Mom next.